possibility that we ever see a podcast on Joe Rogan, you, Joe Rogan, and Conor McGregor?
Probably never. Probably never.
Thank you, Dana. Great show tonight.
Good day, fight fans, and welcome to The Pressure Point. Joe Rogan has sat across from almost every major star in UFC history. Legends, champions, even wild personalities. But there's one man he's never invited to the Joe Rogan Experience. The biggest name of them all, Conor McGregor. Why hasn't it happened?
We were supposed to do it a long time ago. I had his trainer on really recently. You know, I hope he doesn't think that in any way that I don't respect him or appreciate him, because fighters are like super sensitive.
This clip of Rogan dates back to 2019, and since then, things have seriously fallen apart between the two. Whatever spark of respect they once had has completely faded. The idea of them sitting down together now, practically impossible. So, what went wrong? Let's break it down. Conor McGregor's downfall, the drama, and every twist that slammed the brakes on this legendary meeting. Back in the early days, McGregor was a showman with style, confident, sharp, and magnetic. But after landing that jaw-dropping $100 million from boxing Floyd Mayweather, something flipped. The fame, the fortune, the spotlight. It all seemed to twist him up. McGregor's trash talk went from playful to personal. His confidence turned into chaos, and the sportsmanship that once made fans love him, gone. The man who once ran the fight game started running on ego instead. As the years went on, McGregor's fights became fewer and farther apart, and Joe Rogan's tone started to shift. The UFC's top analyst, known for keeping it real, began voicing real concern about what Conor was turning into. Those millions started messing with his head big time. Conor began to act untouchable, like no rule applied to him anymore. Remember that wild scene when he threw a dolly at a bus full of fighters just to intimidate Khabib during UFC 223 fight week?
Crazy man, don't get me wrong. But Khabib's father, lick arse of fucking Houlihan, posted a picture of Kadyrov at this mosque, and Khabib's father posted a picture up, and the caption is, "Together we are stronger." It's such fake respect out of fear. The Chechens know, the Chechen people know that if the tables were turned and there was an opportunity for his father to stab that man in the back, he would do it in a heartbeat to take over.
Yeah, that wasn't showmanship, that was chaos. After that, the arrests started stacking up. Dana White himself had to step in and publicly call Conor out for his reckless behavior, but that didn't stop the spiral. In between the feud with Khabib, McGregor was also being hit with multiple assault and misconduct allegations, most of them tied to wild nights out and non-stop partying. It wasn't just bad press, it was a full-blown meltdown. Joe Rogan couldn't just look the other way anymore. The same fighter Rogan once hyped as one of the most gifted talents in the sport had become his own worst headline.
I was in the plane when it was all happening, flying to New York, and when I landed, my phone was like all these text messages coming in going, "What the fuck is wrong with Conor? I'm like, what happened?" You know, and then I checked the news and I was like, oh Christ. And then I hear that 2 fights were pulled from the card, then 3 fights were pulled from the card.
No, Conor McGregor, he's just losing it right now.
Things only got uglier after UFC 229, the infamous Khabib fight. Rogan publicly criticized McGregor for throwing illegal knees while grounded, and that hit Conor's ego hard. Instead of staying quiet, McGregor fired back on Twitter, calling Rogan a fool in a heated rant that showed just how sour things had become.
That was an illegal knee on the head of a grounded opponent. Shut up, Joe, you little fool, yeah. What are you talking about? Smash this and smash that. What was smashed? My knee into his fucking eye socket, yeah? Sake. That's a knee to a grounded opponent. Call the cops. Fucking ticket.
In another interview, McGregor claimed he'd only appear on the Joe Rogan Experience if Joe stopped what he called biased commentary. That's right.
I have to do commentary on the rules.
No,
I have to. If someone lands an illegal knee, I have to let the audience know it's illegal.
Conor basically said Rogan was playing favorites on the mic. The last time these two even shared the same screen was at UFC 264, when McGregor snapped his tibia in that brutal doctor's stoppage loss to Dustin Poirier. But even that moment, which could have been respectful, turned messy fast. Rogan, with no bad intentions, gave McGregor the mic while he was still on the ground. Legs shattered, emotions boiling over. McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, later said Joe shouldn't have done that at all. To him, that post-fight interview turned what could have been a tragic moment into an uncomfortable spectacle. And from there, things only got worse. After the injury, McGregor stepped away to recover, but in doing so, he quietly left the USADA testing pool.
To get back and have a run, for sure.
So welcome back from peeing. So we were just talking about Conor McGregor's injury. The weird thing is that there's a loophole in USADA that allows you to get out of the testing pool. And get out of the testing pool, you can just juice up.
For over a year and a half, he wasn't tested once, even as he trained, bulked up, and showed off a jaw-dropping physical transformation online. The man went from lean featherweight killer to full-blown tank.
That's Conor?
Yeah.
Right now? Oh, dude, he looks like he's about to go WWF.
Yeah, he looks like a bodybuilder.
Well,
like
that's
the 70s.
It's a weird picture, honestly. I mean, he's definitely jacked, but it looks to me like he's in the middle of lifting. And if you see a guy's body in the middle of lifting, it's a little deceptive because everything. See, that's what he looks like now. He's still jacked. He still looks great, but when when you lift weights, like as you do it, like those bodybuilders that go on stage before those big Mr. Olympia things, they all get pumped.
Olympioid.
Right?
That's a great term for it.
Look at him. He looks good though.
Whoa.
He looks so old now.
He looks different.
Yeah,
well, he's got that crazy
beard.
That beard's crazy. But he looks fit.
And fans couldn't stop asking questions. Was McGregor just working harder, or was something else going on? Rogan didn't hold back. He straight up said McGregor looked like he was allegedly on steroids. He even doubled down, saying Conor's sudden size and muscle gain were clear signs of juicing.
Testing, right? Because he's got to do something to heal his leg quicker. So what is he going to do? Well, he's going to take steroids. So if you're going to take steroids and you're already 34-ish, your endocrine system gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it would just like burn a hole right through the bottom of that USADA cup.
Yeah, if there's ever been speculation.
What's this,
about him,
Wonder
it's
Boy?
like- yeah, 8 months ago on Wonder Boy's channel, there's a video of him.
That comment exploded across social media and painted a huge target on McGregor's back. And of course, McGregor wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back on Twitter with a now deleted post accusing Rogan of being on steroids himself. Conor snapped back with his signature flair, writing that Rogan's urine could melt his knickers, taking the insult game to another level. That exchange officially torched any remaining chance of them sitting together on Rogan's podcast. What started as mutual respect had turned into full-blown public shade, and the world was watching every word fly. This was the point where the dream of a Joe Rogan-Conor McGregor interview basically vanished into thin air. Because here's the truth, Joe Rogan doesn't need Conor McGregor. His podcast is already the biggest in the world, with or without the Notorious. Joe runs it his way. No scripts, no filters, no PR control. And that's exactly the problem. Rogan isn't the type to fake it for clicks or fame. If he ever sat down with Conor, he'd come in hot with real questions.
You have won exactly one fight since Barack Obama was president.
Shut your mouth, I'll go down and smash your nose.
Conor, over a fighter
smash
who
your
has
nose.
zero
You
wins
rat. You
over the
little
last
rat.
6 fights.
You little rabbit thing. Someone
This
smack
man
him.
sent
Smack
you
him.
The ones nobody else dares to ask about the drugs, about the lawsuits, about the cheating rumors, and the chaos surrounding his name. And let's be honest, Conor doesn't exactly handle tough questions. Well, throughout his career, we've seen it again and again. McGregor doesn't like being challenged. He likes being the one running the room, setting the tone, controlling the story. That's why almost all his interviews are short, loud, and carefully managed by UFC PR. Everything's under control until someone like Rogan walks in and breaks that script wide open. Imagine that, 3 full hours of Joe Rogan asking what everyone else tiptoes around. It could turn explosive real quick. There's also the deeper issue, respect. As a lifelong martial artist, Rogan values humility, growth, and evolution. He respects fighters who get knocked down, learn from it, and come back stronger. That's the code of the game, but McGregor, he's still out here acting like he never lost a fight. Still throwing shade online, still dodging accountability, still putting ego above everything. That mindset, the I'm untouchable energy, goes against everything Rogan believes in. And that right there, that's the real reason this interview will probably never happen. But even after all the drama, the shade, and the years of tension, we can't completely rule out the idea of Joe Rogan sitting down with Conor McGregor one day. It's not impossible, but it would take a different Conor to make it happen. It could only work if McGregor truly changed. If he owned up to the chaos, took responsibility for his mistakes, and showed the world that he's back to being a real martial artist, not just a walking brand for whiskey and pubs. Fans would need to see humility instead of hype, truth instead of promotion. Rogan himself has admitted he's open to interviewing Conor, but notice this, he's never gone out of his way to chase it, and Conor he hasn't shown the slightest bit of interest either. It's almost like both men are avoiding the other on purpose. Maybe it's mutual respect, or maybe it's mutual caution. And let's not forget, there's always a chance that Dana White doesn't want that talk to happen at all. Because let's be real, every time McGregor's on camera these days, it's chaos, controversy, and instant headlines. The UFC might not want that kind of spotlight, especially if Rogan starts digging deep. Honestly, the perfect time for that podcast was years ago, when Conor was still active, sharp, and ruling the fight game. Now, he's rich, unpredictable, and maybe even done with serious MMA. Meanwhile, Joe's more focused than ever on real fighters and real conversations. That golden window for the interview, it's gone, and both of them seem just fine letting it stay that way. Their paths, once perfectly aligned, have now split in completely opposite directions. It's not about hate, it's not about some secret backstage feud. It's way simpler than that. They've just become two totally different men. One of them, Joe Rogan, is chasing depth, searching for real, meaningful conversations that reveal who people truly are. The other, Conor McGregor, is chasing attention, living for headlines, spotlights, and the next viral moment. On asks the hard, uncomfortable questions. The other dodges them with charisma, confidence, and chaos. And that's exactly why these two worlds just don't fit together anymore. So no, we probably won't ever see Joe Rogan and Conor McGregor face to face on the same podcast. And honestly, maybe that's for the best, because some interviews aren't just entertainment, they're tests of character. They demand honesty, humility, and self-awareness. Three things that Conor, right now, just doesn't seem ready to give. Maybe someday that version of McGregor will show up, the one who can sit down, look back, and talk like a man who's learned from it all. But until then, this podcast will stay a fantasy that fans keep dreaming about. What do you think? Will the Joe Rogan x Conor McGregor podcast ever happen? Drop your thoughts below, because this story still isn't finished yet. And that is all from Pressure Point today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment letting us know which story stood out to you most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.